Hey guys, it's Jay. Jay loves film. And today I wanted to talk about Blink Twice. It was recently released in theaters last weekend, and I decided to check it out. I will include spoilers for this one, so this is your warning now. To start, we focus on Frida, who's a waitress, as well as her friend, both of which live a fairly modest life. From the beginning, we notice Frida is star-stricken by a tech billionaire, King Slater, as she glosses over various articles about him. Frida and Jess are working at the event in which Slater is in attendance. From conversations, we learn that Frida has interacted with Slater before, and she pursues and attempts to become reacquainted, as she and Jess change into formal attire to mingle amongst the event with the other guests. Slater comes off as charming and alluring, and Frida is completely infatuated with him, and quickly accepts his invitation to spend time on his island. From there, we meet the other island attendees, such as Sarah, Lucas, Camilla, and Heather, as well as some of Slater's associates, such as Stacy, his assistant, and Tom, a chef. From there, Frida gets to enjoy partying, various luxuries, such as clothing, and the attention of Slater while on the island. Everything seems to be going well until Frida and other guests begin to realize they have limited memory of some of their time on the island. This takes a turn when Jess is bit by a snake and later disappears. Frida doesn't realize this until she wanders into a building and willingly drinks what appears to be snake venom offered by a woman that works on the island. Once she realizes Jess disappears, she immediately asks the other women on the island who don't recall Jess at all. This understandably worries Frida, who is eventually able to corroborate her concerns with Sarah, who believes Frida on Jess's disappearance. Frida is able to connect her reemergence of memory from the snake venom. She and Sarah offer the other women, including Stacy, to drink the venom by disguising them as alcohol shots. As Frida begins searching the island, she goes through Slater's office and when she's able to find photos from people attending the island. This causes quick bursts of memories that Frida has forgotten of herself and the other women being assaulted by the other men on the island. The night that Jess is bit by the snake, she is killed due to being able to remember. While searching for their phones, Sarah provides a distraction as Slater and his associates return from a fishing trip, as she also tries to blend in with the other women as the memories haven't kicked in yet. This is where we get a bit of contrast of the tension that is building from Frida and Sarah attempting to blend in while trying to figure out how to escape, with comedic elements with their choices to avoid the men from noticing their changing behavior. This changes into the chaos that ensues once the other women, Heather and Camilla, begin to regain their memory and begin attacking the men. This leaves little time for Frida and Sarah to prepare, which results in Slater capturing them. From here on, we learned that the perfume that was offered and worn by the woman and Lucas contained a flower that has the ability to wipe their memory, which allowed for the men to assault them without them remembering any of it. To the point, we also learn that Frida had previously been on the island before. The snake venom is essentially the antidote, which is why when Jess is bit, she's killed by the guys. As Slater is about to kill Sarah, Frida is able to stall, and we learn that Frida placed the memory wiping concoction into Slater's vape pen. When he uses the pen, it disarms him as he forgets his memory. The film wraps up with the island's main building being on fire, with Jess and Frida escaping. We then get a final scene in which Frida is now the CEO of the Slater Company, which of whom she is also now married to. He seemingly is a bit checked out as he appears to be under the influence from the concoction, as she hands him vape oil for his pen. This movie was definitely intriguing. The minute I saw the trailers, I couldn't wait to see it. The cinematography was definitely a standout for the film. I will say, I do think the film could have used another 15 or 20 minutes, as I felt like some of the setups for certain parts of the plot could have been extended or executed in a different way that would have increased the tension. I wonder if certain things were cut out from the final cut because it felt like it was a bit of an abrupt shift from Frida drinking the venom, no question to ask, to Sarah figuring out something was wrong as well. She doesn't get a chance to ask Slater or the other guys, in addition to how quickly we figure out what happened to Jess. I think a gradual shift would have built that tension a bit more. There was also some questions, mainly from the ending. How far back does the perfume wipe their memory, or to what extent? How did Frida escape the island the first time? And where was Jess then? There's also the thought if people that visited the island were gifted the perfume, then presumably the risk of the events that happened on the island taking place off the island could continue to happen, despite the island no longer being used. So while Frida put a stop to Slater and his associates' actions, there's still the risk of abuse continuing to happen amongst those who received the perfume from the island. I like the film. I think the ending left more to desire, so it wasn't my favorite. The film has a content warning at the beginning related to the assaults. I will say the scenes aren't long or blatantly visually graphic, so if you have concerns about certain scenes that have detailed violent assaults, then I would say you're safe watching this film as it refrains from doing that. If you have seen the film, what are your thoughts? And if you have a TV show or film you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye!